Order the June 19th meeting of the Seminole County School Board. I'm going to turn over to Dr. Calderon for our invocation and pledge.
Good evening, everyone. In that this is our last school board meeting before we celebrate Independence Day, and we are in the education business, I thought I'd take a few moments and read some information I found on the AEI website today about our country and Independence Day. The actual birth date of the American Republic was July 2nd, 1776, when delegates to the Continental Congress meeting at Pennsylvania State House in Philadelphia approved the resolution introduced on June 7th, 1776 by Richard Henry Lee of Virginia calling for independence from Great Britain, that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. 2 days later, on July 4th, the body adopted the more well-known Declaration of Independence, which justified the deed by declaring the causes which impel them to the separation. Marking the remembrance of Independence Day with speeches, parades, music, and fireworks, colonial Americans began a tradition that largely continues to this day. Congress officially recognized the holiday in its first Holiday Act on June 28, 1870. As Thomas Jefferson penned, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And with that, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a safe and happy 4th of July. If you'd all please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Let the record reflect that all school board members are in attendance. We also have some guests this evening who have asked to be recognized. Bobby Aganina, candidate for Seminole County School Board District 4. Joyce Aganina, I'm guessing she's with Bobby. Christine Kraus, candidate for Seminole County School Board District 1. Alan Youngblood, candidate for Seminole County School Board District 1. And Daniel Siciliano from the Lee Mangold campaign. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Dr. Griffin, do you have any agenda modifications?
Yes, Madam Chair. The addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item. Also, board members, I want to apologize. This is, the last meeting of our fiscal year, and you know what happens to the addendum, the last meeting, it gets thick. So you have the thickest addendum of the year, but I think we're getting used to that, the last meeting in June every year, but appreciate your patience with that.
School board members, any agenda modifications? I have 4L and M to pull for discussion. And beyond those two, if I can have a motion to approve the agenda outline?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And we have a lot of folks to recognize tonight.
We do. Dr. Daniel, you're first up.
Good evening. We're here to recognize Master Sergeant Ryan Dufresne, enlisted in the United States Air Force in June of 1992 as the Aircraft Armament Systems Specialist. He's being recognized as the Veteran of the Month. Sergeant Master Dufresne served in South Korea, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Japan, and the United States. He was selected to represent the Air Force across the globe as the ambassador in blue with the Air Force Air Demonstration Squadron, the Thunderbirds. He finished his military career as the F-22 Armament Manager in charge of integrating the weapons platform to the Air Force inventory. Upon retirement, he joined Seminole County at Lake Brantley High School as the aerospace science instructor. There he led his cadets to be recognized annually by the Air Force as a distinguished unit, a recognition only received 2 times prior in the unit's history. His cadets have been recognized as leaders in the school and, more importantly, in the community. He just accepted a SAM position at Rock Lake Middle School, where he will begin his administrative career in the fall and continue his pursuit of excellence. With him tonight to stand is his wonderful wife, Christy Dufresne, who runs our RISE program at Lake Brantley High School, and I do believe have gotten all her RISE students out this year. Their wonderful son, Jake, who is 11, and then Sydney, who's 8, a wonderful family for Lake Brantley and Seminole County Public Schools. Congratulations.
Dr. Griffin, Chairman Lockhart, and board members, it is my privilege to recognize the outstanding softball team from Hagerty High School who this year were 2018 Seminole Athletic Conference champions, 2018 8A District 9 runner-up, 2018 8A Region 3 champions, and the 2018 8A state champions. They are Evelyn Germer, Shannon Glover, Elisa Grande, Alexis Gutierrez, Taylor Croft, Olivia Lapari, Gabriel Matra, Darren Miller, Savannah Miller, Tyler Miller, Josette Ormsby, Courtney Ramirez, Brittany Sundermeyer, Gianna Thompson, Lauren Tulp, Taylor Waters, Caitlin Wilson, Ashley Worrell, their coaches, head coach David Stone, assistant coach Wendy Seaman, assistant coach Mick Verne, along with principal Mary Williams and athletic director Jay Getty, your 2018 8A state champions.
Okay. Yeah, fun following the state championship softball team. All right. The Florida Tobacco Cessation Alliance, led by the American Lung Association, is comprised of a comprehensive network of groups determined to improve the health of our state. The Alliance works together to raise awareness that tobacco addiction is a chronic, relapsing medical condition, not just a habit or personal choice, and to advocate for the adoption of comprehensive cessation health plan benefits for all tobacco users statewide. In Florida alone, $19.6 billion is lost annually in healthcare costs and lost productivity. It is estimated that each smoking employee will cost an employer $4,600 annually. The FTCA award and application process confirms the employer's commitment to helping their employees and families live a tobacco-free life and start on a path to wellness. To reach the silver level status, an employer must provide coverage of 5 FDA-approved medications proven to help people quit and a minimum of 2 counseling sessions of at least 30 minutes, each without any barriers to access. The Seminole County School Board will join about 20 other employers in the state that have received this recognition from the Florida Tobacco Cessation Alliance. Seminole County School Board is the first in the county to receive the Silver FTCA Award. And the plaque reads, School Board of Seminole County, Worksite Wellness Silver Award in recognition of your commitment to employee health, June 19th, 2018, American Lung Association in Florida.
Board members and Dr. Griffin, I'd like to invite you to welcome the newest member to Seminole County Public Schools Administrative Team, our new assistant principal at Lake Orienta Elementary School, Ms. Sandra St. Till. Sandra, come on down. Sandra has been in education for 12 years. She served as an instructional leader for over 9 years at the district level and in a school-based capacity. And her teaching experiences allowed her the opportunity to serve in diverse communities with unique needs. I'm happy to tell you that she joins us from Orange County Public Schools. She knows where to come. With her tonight is her husband, Marco Exantis, her mother, Sanfora St. Till, her kids, Keturah, Mark, and Chloe, her siblings, Mamine and Paul, and Joan, Tristan, and Janelle, some family members, and her new principal, Donna Weaver's here to welcome her as well. Congratulations, Santa.
Good evening, school board members. She has the baby. Good evening, school board members and Dr. Griffin. It's with great honor that I introduce the new members of the SCPS Middle School Administrative Team. First, we have Mrs. Natasha Dukes, Assistant Principal at Millennium Middle School. Mrs. Dukes is in her 20th year in education. She has taught various subject areas, including math and science, and has held several leadership positions. She is certified in educational leaderships in the states of Florida and Texas. She is a proud graduate of the University of West Florida and the University of Central Florida. Joining her tonight is her husband, King Dukes Jr., and son, King Dukes III, and her new principal, Dr. Maggie Gunderson. Next, we have Mrs. Stephanie Gaudio, Assistant Principal at Indian Trails Middle School. Mrs. Gaudio has worked for the past 2 years as the school administration manager at Indian Trails. She started her teaching career at Lyman High School teaching English and intensive reading. She then transitioned into the role of instructional coach and has continued that for several years prior to joining the Indian Trails Middle School community. Tonight joining her is her husband, Michael Gaudio, son, Zachary Gaudio, son Jackson Gaudio, and daughter Sophia Gaudio, and she's also joined by Indian Trails Middle School principal, Dr. Leslie Saleo. Next, we have Mr. Christopher Mertz, Assistant Principal at South Seminole Middle School. Mr. Mertz has been an educator since 2006, serving as an algebra and mathematics teacher, Title I coordinator, administrative dean, athletic director, and testing coordinator in Orange County Public Schools. Prior to working in education, Mr. Mertz received an associate's degree in business management, bachelor's degree in business education, and master's degree in ed leadership from Stetson University. He has a passion for working with students and has a significant history in supporting the most at-risk students, both academically and behaviorally. He is excited to be a part of the South Seminole Middle School team and looks forward to serving and supporting all stakeholders. Tonight, joining him is his wife, Miss Ebony Mertz, and daughter, Ember Mertz, and South Seminole Assistant Principal, Trish Harchafi. And next we have Mrs. Yashika Mims, Assistant Principal, Tuscaloosa Middle School. Mrs. Mims attended the University of Florida, where she earned her Bachelor's of Science degree in psychology and a minor in general education. She continued her education at Nova Southeastern University, where she earned her Master's of Arts in Teaching and Learning, and then her Educational Specialist in Educational Leadership. Mrs. Mim has spent her entire 14-year career as an educator in Seminole County Public Schools, as a middle school intensive reading teacher, social studies teacher, and dean of students. Yashika is affectionately known by her colleagues as Mimsy and tackles every obstacle with a smile and is excited about moving into this new role as an assistant principal. Joining her this evening is her son, Bryson Mims, father, Harry Edwards, mother, Beverly Edwards, mother-in-law, Annette Mims, sister, Jasmine Edwards, nephew, Nicholas Matthews, and nephew, Jaden Sparks, and her new principal, Mr. Randy Schuler.
Dr. Griffin and board members, tonight I'm proud to announce the newest member of our high school administrative team, Mia Kaiser, Assistant Principal at Lake Howell High School. Mia earned her bachelor's degree in applied mathematics from Purdue University and her master's degree in educational leadership from the American College of Education. Mia spent the first 5 years of her teaching career in Indianapolis, Indiana. Since moving to Florida, she spent 5 years at Lake Mary High School as a math teacher and student government advisor. The last 3 years have been serving as a mathematics specialist in the Department of Teaching and Learning, serving Seminole County teachers and students in grades K through 12. With her tonight, family members, her husband Mike, children Michaela and Jackson, her grandson Mason, and her father James Hamill. Also here is Lake Howell Principal Mr. Mike Kotkin.
the surface. It doesn't take much to pull it out.
Well, now another place empties out.
I know.
Nobody wants to hear committee assignments or anything exciting.
Right?
Yes.
So, board members, we're going to go ahead and move on with our agenda this evening. The two items that I pulled for discussion are 4L and 4M, and they are both invitations to negotiate board representatives. The first one, L, is for a tardy and behavior tracking software system, and M is for investment in arbitrage advisory services. Okay, Mrs. Sanchez, what would you like to say?
Sorry.
That's okay.
I got sidetracked.
What's so funny?
It's hard
We're
with the
talking
room
about
clearing
4L.
out.
4L.
4L. You want to do 4L?
Yes, I would like to do 4L.
Okay, so Mrs. Sanchez would like to represent the board on the ITN for tardy and behavior tracking software system.
Yes,
And,
please.
Okay, so we got that. We're good with that. And on M, I'm happy to do the arbitrage advisory services unless one of you would like to do it. I think my number's up.
I'm in the midst of one right now, so I'm going to pass on volunteering.
Okay, is that, yes.
Your turn.
Yes, well, yeah, and the timing on that, I asked about it, and it seems like it might, I think Cheryl said it might be coming pretty quickly, and it's kind of short term, so I'm happy to do that.
Perfect.
All right, so if I could have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right.
Student discipline.
Item 6, student discipline.
Yes, Madam Chair. My recommendation is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations from June 4th, 2018.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I have no cards tonight for public comment. I don't know if there's anybody here who would like to address the board, but there are public comment forms on the back table. If you would like to address the board, you can fill that out and give it to the clerk. Any unfinished business?
There's no unfinished business, but I do have two new business items.
All right.
Okay, the first is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the advertising of the tentative budget and millage rates for 2018-19.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
And the second is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the mental health plan recommendation.
So
So
moved.
moved.
So who would like to make that motion? Mrs. Sanchez?
I will. So
Second.
moved.
And Mrs. Almond second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
And then, board members, there are 3 items on the superintendent's report. They are read-only items this evening.
Tonight for board member comments and committee updates, Vice Chairman Calderon, you are up first, then Mrs. Almond, and then Mrs. Sanchez.
Great. One of the boards that I represent us on is the Central Florida Zoo and Botanical Gardens. We had a meeting this month, growing in the right direction, and even the summer camps, which obviously are attended by mainly SCPS students, are up this year in attendance. So our kids are really getting ready for STEM next year. And the entire community is invited to the zoo's annual meeting, which is July 11th at 5 p.m. at the Wayne Dent Center, if any of you would like to attend. I was asked by the Orlando Regional Realtors Association to speak with their Government Affairs Committee on the constitutional review questions on the ballot. They just wanted some input from a school board member, and they wanted me to pass along the thanks for the hard work that this entire district does for our community, and they just really appreciate that we always respond quickly if they have concerns and questions, so I wanted to pass along those words to you. Also attended numerous chamber meetings this month, but one in particular, the Seminole Tech, is an organization of tech companies that come together through the Seminole Chamber. And I love going to those meetings just to meet new business owners in the field and to see what cutting-edge technology is out there. And this month was all on healthcare software. So I thought that was kind of timely because being self-insured ourselves, it might be good at some point in time to reach out to some of those companies. But as much as we struggle with our health care opportunities each year, so does the industry, because there just is not a fluid way now that we have electronic records management, and we see it all the time, whether it be for HIPAA or FERPA problems, but to get all hospitals to talk together, different doctors' offices to talk together, get digital x-rays sent. So I think it was really timely with our health academy at Seminole High School that the students actually know some of the opportunities that any professional organizations have to deal with. And I know many of us are very grateful to Joe Gallagher and his organization, Allie's Hope, that he raises money each year and donates a big portion of that to our foundation. And I was honored to help him with his annual fundraiser, which was the best yet. So hopefully we'll be able to help more students who are having some mental health issues. So that was great, and that's my report. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Fantastic. Mrs. Almond.
Okay, Children's Cabinet talked about something called the still face experiment, where if you as a parent look at your baby and you have no expression, that baby just almost goes into a panic trying to connect with you. And so they talked about the importance of connecting with your baby and mimicking and making little cooing sounds and things for their healthy growth. For their next meeting, July the 11th, from 9:30 to 11, they meet at the County Extension Services Auditorium at 250 West County Homeroom. And they're going to have a movie called Resilience, the Biology of Stress and the Science of Hope. And anyone is welcome to attend, and I'll be attending that. We had a lot of students receive congressional nominations. 7 out of the 11 that came out of this district were our high school students. They represent from Lake Brantley, Lake Mary, Oviedo, and Lake Howell, and congratulations to those students. Seminole County Human Trafficking Task Force, very interesting. In the last 3 months, there were 11 cases presented to law enforcement. 2 of them were verified. They said typically half of the kids that are trafficked come from homes, the other half come from out in the community or foster placement. They talked about labor trafficking and the kids that come door to door with bins of stuff that don't belong in your community, and that we all have a responsibility to call in. They would rather check it and have it not pan out than not call in at all. And there's a 1-800-96-ABUSE hotline. And that's my report.
I had an opportunity to go to the Florida School Board Association conference last week, and we had a fabulous time. There was a man by the name of Aram Christopher, who is a producer and director of a movie called Listen, and you'll never hear things the same again. I highly recommend anybody to pull up that information to just view it. There was not a dry eye there. There was many people that walked out. It was basically discussing mental health, and if you don't have mental stability, you can't intellectually get anywhere, which is so true, that we have to have that mental stability in order to make any growth anywhere. And we talked a lot about, mental health bill and House, Senate Bill 7026, and basically how far along we are compared to so many other districts. And they wanted to know how we've been doing what we've been doing, because they're not anywhere where they need to be with their safety bill and with mental health, anything. So kudos to everybody that has been doing an amazing job, including Captain Francis and Dr. Walsh. I don't know if she's here or not, but and to the whole team of everybody working together. I know it's a lot to undertake. We had a lot of time to discuss different things with each other, and we had our coalition meeting there, and we swore in the new officers for the coalition. There was quite a few superintendents that weren't there. I guess they were probably in a meeting with you. And other than that, tomorrow I have a Take Stock in Children meeting at 4 o'clock, and we always need some mentors for that wonderful program. So that meeting will be here in the building at 4 p.m. if anybody's interested in helping out. We've already started our Arts Alive committee meetings, and Missy's already sending out a lot of information on that, and we've already started meeting. Before you know it, October will be here. So anybody that's interested in that, send a message over to the foundation, and we can get you all hooked up. Thank you.
Well, the only thing that I have to report on is my field trip to Volusia County. I'm going to Hope Place, which is the very innovative family supportive housing for families who have found themselves in a homeless situation. They've converted an old elementary school. It's a partnership between the school district, the county government, private philanthropies, the health department. It's just an amazing amalgamation, really, of everyone that could touch and affect homelessness in Volusia County coming together to create this program. Very impressed by it. Unfortunately, we couldn't get staffing and timing coordinated to get our team up there, but I think it would be well worth the trip for us to go and visit with some other folks. To see what they're doing. They fully admit they don't have it all figured out. They're learning things as they go along, but it's truly an amazing effort that I think they have done a great job. And truly, Ms. Hosseini, who is one of the private philanthropists that has kind of pulled this thing together, she is like a dog with a bone, man. That woman had a vision and a passion to see this come together, and she brought everybody to the table, and by golly, they're getting it done. So it's amazing. They're addressing unaccompanied homeless youth, which of course we have a great need in this community to address that. Families who are in need of emergency shelter, and of course we know in Seminole County we only have 2 emergency shelters, Safe House and Rescue Outreach Mission. And then also the permanent supportive housing, which helps families and guides them through a process of job training, any type of mental health services, addiction counseling, and there's a faith-based component, which is wonderful. They've actually built a non-denominational chapel as a part of the facility. So they've thought of just about everything you can imagine. And kudos to them, and I'd, again, love to have the opportunity for us to go and visit. So unless there's anybody else that would like to address the board, I never did have any public comment forms turned in, but anything else, board members? All right, we'll go ahead and adjourn.
Happy 4th, everyone.